Dear, we're reading more Saigyo. This is now part 8. A Study of Saigyo with translations of his poems in the Shinkokinsu. A thesis of Robert G. Sewell. A thesis from Columbia University, 1967. Obtained. Saigyo is a 12th century Japanese poet. I had to keep repeating. Poem 1659. Yamazawa ni. I wish I had a friend who had given up the floating world. We would discuss the past which has regrettably gone by. I wish I had a friend who had given up the floating world. And we would discuss the past which has regrettably gone by.
Why regrettably if he wants to?
The past has gone by?
But he didn't like the past, it was the floating world.
The floating world is like the material world,
so
right?
In that case, why regrettably?
He's a Buddhist.
You should be happy it's gone by.
We would discuss the past. The past has regrettably gone by. I don't know. Don't you regret at all that the past went by?
If you consider it to be flooded.
You don't. Certainly you must still have regret of the past, even if you know it's floated. 1658. Yamazawa. It was not my idea to forbid others to come here, to this mountain village. But somehow I am now visited so infrequently. Did he not invite anybody? It was not my idea to forbid others to come here to this mountain village. But somehow I am now visited so infrequently. They forgot to visit him, and he's in some obscure mountain village. The people of the city don't go up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't have as many friends on Facebook as he thought he did.
Yeah, that depends.
They weren't really friends. That's the truth of it. His Facebook friends didn't even come. Topic 1674. Furuhata no. In a tree standing beside the desolate field, the voice of a dove calling to friends. Lonely, terrible evening. Why is it terrible now? The voice is calling for his friends. The dove is. The voice of the dove calling to friends.
He's so lonely that he thinks that the dogs are very lonely too.
Lonely, terrible evening.
Dogs also, they call for friends.
Why does he have such a terrible time? Well, he's lonely, this guy. 1675, Yamagatsu no. Standing at the boundary of the field, which is occupied as far as the steep hill by the mountain villagers, the beautiful jewel string willow! ! Standing at the boundary of the field, which is occupied as far as the steep hill by the mountain villagers, the beautiful jewel string willow. It's a pillow word. It's a use of the makurako toba, or pillow word. A pillow word is a conventional epitaph. Poem 1676, Shigeki no Wo. I have made my way through lush fields to how many a town, and will again return to them to recall the past. I have made my way through lush fields to how many a town, and will again return to them to recall the past.
I think I need a break even from poetry.
Oh,
You really like to read more?
I have to finish.
Why don't you just get rest, maybe?
Oh. Mishi. Poem 1677. The years have passed for the pine sapling in the garden where I saw it in the past. Now I hear the roar of a storm in its branches. The years have passed for the pine sapling in the garden where I saw it in the past. Now I hear the roar of a storm in its branches. 1680. Koru kore na mishi. Is this the remains of where I lived in the past that I still see in the dewdrops on a yamagi bush? The image of the moon is formed. Going on. 1746. Kazu naranu. I am truly insignificant, but being high-spirited in assuming the appearance of wisdom, again I return to the to the temple. I am truly insignificant, but being high-spirited and in assuming the appearance of wisdom, again I return to the temple. Poem 1747. Oro Kanaru. If I had submitted to the pull of my foolish heart and gone on as I was, what then of my thoughts of death? 1748. Tashi Tsuki Ho. How did I pass through these months and years in a world where yesterday's person is today no longer? 1749. Ikikataki. Coming to the surface of the world in the difficult form of man, everyone, not heeding experience, again shall sink. Yeah, they'll sink because... And Saigyo wrote this poem when he viewed a screen portraying hell. In the Buddhist scheme of reincarnation, it is most difficult to become a man, the last stage necessary before becoming enlightened and breaking the chain of reincarnation. However, as Saigyo points out in this poem, people do not heed experience, including memory of their good deeds in their previous life, and sink into hell, where they are reborn again. Read it again. 1749. Coming to the surface of the world in the difficult form of man, everyone not heeding experience again shall sink. 1778. Izuku Nino. If it is difficult to live in any particular place, I shall make no home in a world where a brush hut remains just for a while. Okay. 1779. Tsuki no yuku. I sent forth my soul to the mountains, where the moon goes, but in the darkened aftermath, what becomes of my flesh? 1808. Mataritsuru. There is the sound. of the sunset temple bear for which I have been waiting. If for me there is a tomorrow night, perhaps I will hear it again. 1828. Yo wo ito. That I disdain the world, this alone I will leave behind. Such a humble person as myself will be remembered for this. 1829. Mi no usa wo. Might I not have come to an end without knowing sorrow if it were a world where the practice of turning one's back did not exist? Become a priest. The practice of turning a back is to become a priest. Might I not have come to an end without knowing sorrow if it were a world where the practice of turning one's back did not exist? Question. 1830. Ika ga Tsubaki. What should I do now? If I were in the world, then I would abandon it and think once again, oh, what a bitter world. Become a priest. What should I do now if I were in the world? Then I would abandon it, become a priest, and think once again, oh, what a bitter world. 1831. Nani goto ni. What to that thing, to what to what thing is my heart attached, so that I yet again must despise the world? Despising is caused by attachment, apparently. He despises it because of attachment, dear. When you despise, it says, although now a priest, Saigyo discovers his heart is still attached to something or someone in the floating world. He thought that after becoming a priest, he would be unconcerned with worldly matters, which made him despise the world. So his poem says, to what thing is my heart attached that I yet again must despise the world?
Yeah.
He still has a lingering desire or something. 1842. Misaki Arisi. Thinking back still to times only in the past, when there was elegance, I pass my years in this gloomy world. Thinking back still to times only in the past, when there was elegance, I pass my years in this gloomy world.
In this
Gloomy world.
gloomy.
Here he says 1844. It says when, here's a little comment here, when Sakurin, a poet priest, was a friend of Saigyo. When Sakurin, prevailing upon people, tried to have them compose 100-poem sequence, I refused, and I went on a pilgrimage to Kumara. No. On the way in my dreams, the head priest, Takaki Kunamano, on the way in my dreams, the head priest said of the third rank, even though everything declines, this way of Japanese poetry indeed will not change even at the end of the world, and so one should write poetry at every occasion. I woke with a start and immediately wrote the poems for Sakurin and sent them to him. At the end I added this poem, Su no ro no mo. If it were not for a dream in which I saw this elegance of Japanese poetry unchanged, even in the decaying world I would have listened as though elsewhere.
To who he sent this one?
I can't repeat it. If it were not for a dream in which I saw if it were not end of section.
If you said